Hi YouTube guys, I am Empress Jack Rabbit and I'm here today. I thought I don't know, I just felt the need or the mood to want to do a reading, and I'm going to do that reading today on someone that is not necessarily a favorite of mine, but sometimes you got to get out of the way of yourself and do what needs to be done. So I want to do a reading on Miss Kenya Moore. Kenya is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was the winner, I think, of Miss America. That's what it was. Miss America back in the day. I remember when she won. Um, I've never known her to be an especially warm or friendly, gracious person from even back in the day. Today I'm going to wear my headphones and I'm in my daughter's room with her computer. So if the sound goes crazy, it has a tendency to do that, but it'll be okay. It'll come back. But if you like the video, please subscribe, thumbs up, and always leave a comment. And thank you guys for watching, and thank you for all the wonderful shout outs from people. It just makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, and it's something I enjoy, so that's great. Um, okay, let's take a look at Kenya's birthday. Kenya was born January 24th, 1971. So she's not old, but she's not a young sex kitten as she sometimes likes to show herself to be. In her early years, she was a number one, so she was definitely a handful. She was obstinate and stubborn, and things had to be her way, and everything had to be about her. She had to lead. Being young, she would necessarily have finished, but she would have been that kid coming up with all the great ideas and all the great games to play, or she'd had to be first in tag or races or whatever, because she was not going to have anything less than that. And that's all good, but when you have a lot of youthful energy like that and you're a number one, you actually scare people away. You push them away with all that me, my, it's first, it belongs to me, give me that type of energy. Nowadays, she's a six. So, being that she is a six because she's on the 24th, um, kind of goes with her personal year this year, actually. She would have a lot of responsibilities. She'd always be trying to take care of her domestic affairs. Um, she would have a lot of family demands on her to support people or to give people things. She needed to learn respect for herself, which was kind of hard to come by. That was kind of difficult for her. She comes across to us, or she looks like a number seven person to us, as well as her birth year is a number seven. When I started thinking about this number seven and knowing what this meant, it gave me more understanding about her. Now, not necessarily to say that I started liking her more, it just made me understand her. A number seven is kind of like how Future was, where they want to always appear mysterious. They are a loner. They like to be alone sometimes, well, for a bulk of the time, but they're a loner. But the problem with being alone is that they didn't always necessarily get to practice their people skills. So when they came out and talked or socialized, they didn't know how to fit in. And if you watch Housewives of Atlanta, she really did not fit in at first. She tried to come across talking too slick, trying to be too harsh, too blunt, dishonest, and it was all this number seven personality. Um, she is supposed to be striving for really more of peacefulness and even solitude, but having peace in that solitude for her. But she has a negative side to her, and she seems to live out of that negative side. And if you're a negative number seven person, you're a jerk. Plain and simple, you're a jerk. You run your mouth, you talk too much, you uh, will try to fit in where you can't fit in. You try to mold and shape yourself to whichever way that needs to be. You have a very selfish side to you. You have a spoiled side to you. You feel like life is not fair for you. Everybody else gets to do that. I never get to do that type of mentality. Um, you have an aloofness about you that keeps people away from you, or keeps people at a distance, and yet you're crying about being lonely. And a part of that aloofness is a cover up for your own insecurity. This lady is a very insecure lady. Don't believe what you see on the outside. I'm telling you, this lady is very insecure, very unsure. She comes across with sort of this braggadocious attitude that she made all these films and these productions, and she did, but these were straight to video movies. They weren't anything that was a big hit. You can't even name one. But very insecure. Hollywood was just too much for her. So this is probably a better place for her, where she can get some shine that she wants, but on a smaller scale. She is very observant. You're not going to be able to slip much past her, because she's always watching people and how people do. She's very cerebral, like in her head, and analytical. She tries to think things through, or every move that she makes, she tries to think it through. She's very much a perfectionist. You can tell in terms of the way her hair will look, or her makeup, or what have you. She's very much a perfectionist. And she can really detect liars. She wants it left so that people don't really know her. So it's kind of tricky for her, because she's wanting to be this mysterious, beautiful actress, legend, Miss America, blah, blah, blah. And on the other hand, she hasn't opened up enough to let people in, for people to really get to know her and admire her. And she's always looking at people like they're up to something. She could meet you on the street and never met you before, and figure that you're up to something and you want something. And a lot of times she's just projecting that out there through her own insecurities, that perhaps it's her that wants something, and something that you have, because she has a tendency to be covetous like that, wanting what no one or what other people have. If she wants this year, she could actually meet somebody for real, and have that marriage and that family. But no stunts. That's the problem right there, is that she's more for the stunts and the publicity than she is for the for real of who she really could have been. She could have done quite well on The Apprentice, but unfortunately she was more about the stunts and the shine, and appearing to look that she was on top of her game than she was on top of her game. And being so isolated from other people, and so combative and competitive, that really worked against her in that game, because there's a lot of people in that celebrity world, even doing Apprentice, they been around, they know how to play the game much better than she did, obviously, because she didn't play it that well. She's got to learn how to have respect for herself. Believe it or not, this beautiful lady, and I'm not gonna lie, she's a very beautiful young lady, doesn't have the respect for herself as she should. It's a tricky thing to learn how to respect yourself and to love yourself. And it starts in small ways, and basically by forgiving yourself completely, and accepting every bit of you the way you are. It doesn't matter what Nene is doing, or what Portia is doing, or anybody else. None of that matters. What matters is that she do the best she can. As far as her relationship with Claudia, they don't have a relationship. Let me just tell you that. Claudia would have known of her, being that she's been in the industry on the fringes, or in the beauty pageant circuit, if you want to say that. But they were never tied or ace spoon coons. They both needed one another for this season that just passed, to go up against the other ladies, or to go up against Nene, who has a type of glow or shine about her that these ladies don't. It doesn't matter how attractive they are, or how crazy Nene Wiggs are. She's got something that comes from the inside out that they can't manufacture. They can't stunt and make it happen. It just is true. And so, in terms of what happens to them after camera or after the show, they're more high and by. I would even venture to say more frenemies, but you'll see that happen as time goes on because they'll start to want what each other has, I would say. But here is this lady, ex Miss America. I'm gonna say actress, not as in terms of a real actress, only because of the fact that she did make some movies, and I know some with Shamar Moore or whatever. But there was, and she had little parts in like Martin or things like that, little shows. Nothing that was that extravagant. It was just putting a nice lady in the pictures when it really boils down to. But I would think for her, if she wants that love and that marriage and that real relationship, she's got to start working on herself. That is the bottom line. She's got to get that self-respect up. She's got to let go of her insecurities. She is hung up on being youthful and money to go along with that and wanting some millionaire to captivate her. And once she surrenders to her age and stage in life, which is a beautiful age and stage in life, once she says, okay, that's them, let them be them, I'm going to be me, then things are going to really come together for her. When she opens her life and her heart and her spirit and allows others to come in, irregardless of what mom or dad or whoever did or didn't do in the past, that's in the past. And the only way that we can move forward is, and especially her, is to go past those things. Perhaps those were there for a lesson. Perhaps they did the best that they knew how to do, and that's all they could do. We can't undo that, and we can't take that against anybody else. They showed the scene on the Real Housewives of Atlanta where Nene was emotional about her mom and all of that. That really should have been Kenya. That was Kenya's moment. And she should have jumped on that couch and got to crying and boo-hoo and everything else too, because it was really more of her and her issue that she carries more so than anyone else. This year, though, she is going to, like I said, be having a lot of service and duty. She's going to be taking care of an ill family member for sure. Her hands are just going to be full with a lot of responsibilities. So don't expect to hear a lot out of her this year as far as making these twirl songs or whatever. She's going to be a little bit in the cut for right now. But that's my reading for you. If you liked it, comment, subscribe, thumbs up. I love all of you guys, and thanks so much for taking the time to listen. Have a great day.